Good morning, YouTube world. I'm your host, Paul Italia. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. So I am blessed to have these legends on with me today. I'm going to start off by introducing, we got Jerry Cadorette, we got Devon Larratt, and the legend, the GOAT, John Brzenk in the house. What's up, guys? How you all doing today?
Fantastic.
I can't believe that am I the youngest guy on this call? Paula, how old are you?
I'm 40.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So you're the young guy.
Almost the youngest, Devin.
Almost.
So let's start off with, I just want to get how many years you all started arm wrestling? How long ago? Starting off with you, Jerry.
Who, me? Well, we start with the old man, John.
Yeah, so I'll tell my story again. So I ended up breaking my arm at 13. So officially I started arm wrestling on a regular basis in grade school and junior high. Broke my arm at 13. Took about a 3-year period after I broke my arm. Didn't start arm wrestling seriously on a table until 17. So that would be 41 years. But if you really want to go back, it's 45, 46, 47 years.
Wow. Devin, how about you?
Me? 47 years. So I am currently in my 30th year. So I will be 48. So I will be on my 30th year of competitive arm wrestling. Yeah.
Jerry?
It was 89. So what's that? 33, 34 years.
Okay. Wow. I am surrounded by some serious arm wrestling experience right now. And I'm 3 years in, guys. So let's start off with this question is, who is the hardest opponent you've ever faced? John, we'll start off with you.
Well, he's probably in the chat room right now, and I'm gonna pick Jerry just because I twisted my arm up to some really crazy spots, and with Jerry, it's always the longest lasting match. So that's, in my mind, probably the most painful. I've had some bigger matches that have been hyped more and caused me to get more excited and more adrenaline going. But as far as twisting my frame into a position that was very uncomfortable where I could have broke, and as long as it lasted, Jerry is probably on top of the list.
And John, how many times did you face Jerry before?
Oh boy, I don't know. I just remember the last time, I think it was with the UAL. I don't know if we ever pulled that many times before that. Maybe we did, but I don't really recall. But just the last one at the UAL is what sticks in my mind.
Devin, same question for you. Hardest opponent of all time for you?
I mean, I feel like I don't have a lot of easy matches either, but I mean, there's been a lot of people who have beaten the crap out of me, but I think that the worst ass kicking I ever received was just recently, and that would be with Levan. I mean, Levan is a fucking dude. Like, that's a bad dude, man. That's a bad dude.
Now, Jerry, same question for you.
I would say, well, the ones that come to the biggest memory is when John and I went, me and Cleve Dean and me and Gennady, right? Those three, I would say, are the top three for me most memorable. And I mean, me and Michael Todd was long, and that was tough, but just pivotal matches I remember most.
What about your $10,000 match with Travis? That was pretty a highlight. It's a highlight of my.
That was $15,000, but yeah.
Oh.
I mean,
yeah, that was just intense because there was personal money on the line, and and no one knew what you were about at the time. You kind of just came out of retirement to pull them. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was a little nuts. Yeah, you're right. That was a good one. That was profitable.
Yeah.
Now, John, how many times have you pulled Devin before?
Oh boy,
That'll help.
I don't.
There was Japan, right? We pulled in Japan, and I didn't even remember. That was 99.
Yeah, that was because it was left-handed. I mean, I just don't ever put anything into left-handed. I don't think we pulled right-handed. It was just left because I only pulled left-handed in Japan.
because you pulled in the overall, and they never invited me into the
Right.
99.
No. Well, I learned my lesson about a year before that because I pulled like 3 days in a row and then an overall in Russia, and I got beat. And then I thought, I ain't doing that again. I'm just so yeah.
99. Then it was Superstar Showdown.
Possibly, yeah.
And then
a Michael Classic.
Michael Classic. Manchester. WAL.
Manchester.
Was it Manchester? Or was it London?
WAL. London. Yeah, London.
London.
Yeah.
WAL,
and then the recent one in Dubai. Probably been it.
like 6 or 7 times, yeah.
Yeah.
And we had that practice in Vancouver. That was nice.
All right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was getting ready for Arson going to Istanbul like 2 weeks, and
yes. Yeah. How was your final tune-up? Yeah.
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 Now, Jerry, how many times have you and Devin pulled before?
We just pulled that one time.
Okay. Now, here's a question for you guys. Who do you guys have as the top 5 in North America currently? Let's start off with you, John.
North America. Okay. Dave Chafee, Devon Larratt, Jerry Cadorette.
Now it gets interesting, doesn't it?
Corey West. And I don't know, throw some names out there and let me decide on the 5th.
It's either got to be you or Hutchings, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was thinking about Hutchins, but I don't know. There's some heavyweights right now. I mean, hell,
Austin Yeagers?
Maybe. Yeah, it's as impressive as he's looking, right? I actually did think of Chance. Chance has gotten better since he pulled Todd. So that would be, a possibility for 5th place. Yeah.
I think it's you or Hutchings.
All right, I want to hear Devin. I want to hear your list in order.
It's real similar. So you can take the 3, the 3, Jerry, Dave, and myself. I think that we're probably the top 3, probably. And then to me, I think Corey definitely is. That guy,
he's really tough for a lot of people.
Yeah, and I'd say that we all got to watch out for Corey West. I really believe that. I think he's fucking really bad news. And then, but the 5th spot, and look at 4th and 5th. The thing is John, you beat him last time, and so did Hutchings. But I can't help but think that Corey he's got to be on that list. I think. But the thing is, based off of results, both you and Todd are higher than him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I just barely squeaked by my life. I mean, he's really tough for top rollers. But yeah, some of the top level hookers I think are still a possibility to beat Corey. But because Devin, he does like fall into a hook, and there are maybe some hook pullers that would actually do something with it.
When it comes to the more junior guys, like I do see Corey ahead of Austin. I see him ahead of Chance. And Derek, I mean, I see him ahead of Derek as well. And those 3 names are kind of who I have, as the guys who are questionable. Maybe I'm missing somebody, but
right.
I mean, there's always Matt, but Matt's been a bit cold lately.
Right. What about Tim? I mean, he's kind of fallen off the radar.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I watched that match in Kentucky with Tim and Austin, and look at no disrespect, well, whatever. To me, Austin killed him. I feel like he got robbed.
I feel the same on that. Yeah. Devin, the one thing I do want to anchor down though is because you said your 3 names, Dave, Jerry, and you, but I want to know in order, how do you have them right now?
Oh, I'm gonna beat all of them.
So you have you at number 1. Who do you have at number 2?
Dave.
Okay.
Yeah. Dave's a tough nut. Dave is tough.
Now we're gonna go to Jerry. We got to hear your top 5 right now in order.
I'm gonna go me, Devin, Dave, Corey, John.
Okay.
Pretty close, yeah.
Yeah, so we're all pretty consistent.
Did you guys get to see the big match yesterday between Derek Smith and Austin Jaggers, left hand?
I heard about it. I
Left hand,
haven't watched it.
they arm wrestled right and left.
Okay, I only
Yeah,
got
the
to
left
see the
hand,
left
whatever.
one.
The left hand was, yeah, it was stupid. The right hand, really, that's the match. Really, really good match. Yeah. Yeah,
What
very.
happened on the right hand?
You guys see it? Am I the only one who saw it?
I only
haven't
got to
seen
see
it.
the left one, and yeah, I missed it on the other one. I must have came on
It was
too
just
late.
last night, right? I had shit to do this
Yeah.
morning.
Oh, it was awesome. Listen, and go to 217. They did a really nice edit.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it's
all their
great.
filming is always really good.
Yeah, very, very good job. So you'll love to watch it. So spoilers. You want to talk about it? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
So overview. It was 3-2 for Austin Jaegers. Okay, Austin came back. He was down 2, came back. There were not straps used until the final round. Okay. Derek was like really fucking hooking and coming forward. And like in the first round, Derek kind of dominated more or less, but it kind of got worse and worse as it went on. Like a lot of times he was so Austin would open in a top roll and Derek could like snatch him and kind of force him back. There were some fouls and it was running fouls. So I think in the process, Derek got a bit more gassed and like in a stopped match, like when the match stopped, Derek struggled to find his shoulder and Austin ended up being able to shoulder through like at the end. Yeah. Like, so it ended up coming down to, it was a close match. Not a lot of straps used, running fouls, and Austin's shoulder ended up coming through for the win in the end.
Austin Jaegers, man, what a force, bro. He is
Really
leveling
good.
up.
Really good match. I'm sure Derek's kicking the shit out of himself right now because it was his match to win. Like he was up 2-0, and like in the round 3, like we're talking like he had him like a couple of inches from the pad and just gassed out, like just burned.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking that the shoulder roll thing is going to be kind of on everybody's radar as the successful finishing move now with all the people that have been getting beat or put in trouble at least with that move. I thought it was just like there's no way anybody beats me like that, or some of the matches I've seen people get beat. I'm like, oh shit.
Well, we have another legend that has just entered the room, and we got to introduce him right now. Mike Gould is in the house. What's up, Mike? How are you doing, brother?
Hey guys, all good. Glad to be
Hey, Mike.
here. Hey,
What's up,
guys.
buddy? Yeah. Heidi's
Mike.
phone.
Hey,
What's
Mike, I
that?
wanted to know how many
Heidi's
years have you
phone.
been arm wrestling now?
How many years have I been arm wrestling?
Yes.
Oh man, it's got to be 35.
Wow.
35 years.
This is just amazing. So we got 30 to 35 years in, and then a 41 or 47. Wow, this is really impressive here.
It's impressive to have such a bunch of guys that can, the arm wrestling's so hard. Obviously, we all know it's so difficult on the arms. I mean, it's pretty self-destructive, and to have the length of time in, I mean, it takes a lot.
Yeah, so I got to ask you guys. So over the years, what serious injuries have you guys come across and everything? Because I'm guessing with all this experience and everything, you guys have had your fair share of injuries. So let's start off with Mike. Have you had any serious injuries?
Yeah, I've torn both biceps, had to have both biceps reattached, and a lot of hand injuries, but that was different things. But my right hand's got it's got broken bones and cartilage damage. But both biceps torn from arm wrestling and shoulder damage for sure.
Yeah, I also had the 2 biceps torn, had to get them surgery replaced. John, what about you? Any serious injuries? I know you've had serious shoulder problems.
Well, yeah, going back, my initial injury was the elbow break when I was 13 years old. That obviously healed fine. Hadn't been really a problem. And then just as I've gotten older and older and older, I actually threw my shoulder out, threw the labrum out when I was 20, 21, playing softball. and I never went and had it looked at or got it fixed. So I can't really blame a lot of my shoulder injuries or problems on arm wrestling. But arm wrestling definitely has aggravated it. I wouldn't.
John, what the heck were you doing playing softball?
Yeah, that's right. I mean,
Good grief.
my most serious injuries that relate to arm wrestling are due to sports outside of arm wrestling. But, yeah.
Jerry, what about yourself? What serious injuries have you come across?
I messed up my labrum.
Okay, and that was when recently with the bench pressing. Okay, Devin.
I've had 3 elbow surgeries total, 2 on my right, 1 on my left, and it's all just to remove garbage. Like I had massive spurring, which resulted in a lack of blood flow and nerve supply. I had my ulnar nerve moved. I tore my right bicep partial, so not a detachment, but muscular. I blew a suspensory ligament in my wrist, which resulted in, all my bones. Never got it fixed. Just chronic arthritis everywhere, really. That's the main thing.
Keeping inflammation under control is a killer as you get older. Jeez.
Yeah.
So I've heard that all you guys have been receiving stem cell therapy. So I kind of want to just enlighten the whole arm wrestling community on what procedures you guys had done and what results have you seen. So we're gonna start off with John on this one.
Well, I think it's been roughly 2 months, maybe 3 months ago. I went down to Louisiana and got the stem cells along with the exosomes. And have had a couple exosome treatments after the stem cell. And I definitely can tell I don't take nearly as much anti-inflammatories as I had been taking. And I definitely don't feel as achy. The inflammation has definitely gone down, and the shoulder has improved a little bit. It's kind of hard to explain, but it doesn't feel as swollen, as inflamed. Like I actually have some mobility. I can actually put my arm behind my back now, where 3 months ago I could hardly even do cross my arms in front of me. So I'm hoping that it continues to get better. But I can definitely honestly say that it has made it inflammatory. I haven't turned into Superman yet like Devin has. I'm waiting for that to happen. Like all of a sudden my hand and wrist become incredibly strong, but I haven't come to that point yet, but definitely improvements.
John, can you just run me through what does the procedure look like, and where did you have your shot? Was it directly into the shoulder?
Into the shoulder, into the back of the shoulder. I think he went 3 or 4 different places because it was really kind of difficult to isolate, but I don't know, inch and a half insulin type needle that went fairly deep. I didn't know if it went exactly right into the joint, but we attempted to get as close as we could to that area. And then I got some on the top of my arm and the inside of my head, had like a little stinger that I sustained from many, many years ago pulling Ron Bath, kind of inside of my bicep. That's always been kind of sort of the touch and kind of like a little hot spot there. And actually that actually feels better too. So I had that done.
Now, what was the difference between the stem cell and the exosomes? Is it a different kind of shot? Like, can you explain a little?
Same procedure, same shot, same needle. In fact, I think. Yeah.
Now, is it a painful thing? Getting
No.
this? No.
Nothing like a cortisone shot, I'll tell you.
Okay. Now, Mike, I want to hear from you, brother. Did you receive the stem cell therapy as well?
Yeah, I did actually. I've got a lot of damage in my hand. I've got a few broken bones and some cartilage damage, and so I had a treatment right in my right wrist. And what I find interesting is that they told me, I said, they figured I'd feel a difference and stuff, but I found immediately I could feel a difference, like something going on there for sure, like just whether it was just fluid or whatever. But I was told, wait till 5 weeks. You'll see a difference in 5-6 weeks. And it's amazing because my hand's still damaged, but the use I have of it today is probably 3 times what I had. It really did make a big difference. And I also got a shot in my left shoulder, which made a big difference because it was I was scheduled for rotator cuff surgery, and it made a big difference as well.
How long have you been receiving this treatment now, Mike?
Oh my goodness, it's probably been 2 months. I would say 2 months.
Now, is it a weekly shot? Is it monthly? How does that work?
No, I'm doing the exosomes probably weekly, and the actual stem cell, I've only had one. I'm due to get back and have another. But yeah, that's it really.
Okay. And
the stem cell was right into my wrist joint, and it was. I'm not as tough as some of the guys probably, but I don't care what anybody says. It was painful. I didn't cry, but it was painful.
wow. Okay.
So,
and you said you feel some of the results already. Are you healing up? Yeah.
In my right hand, it's a substantial difference. It's hard to believe, but it's a substantial difference in my right hand.
Now you're on the table weekly, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So do you see a big difference now with what you're pulling now? Like, is it helping as far as your pulling and mobility and all that?
Well, unfortunately, my training is very sporadic just due to my nature of my work. I drive truck. I'm on the road a lot, but my training has increased, and my arm wrestling, I feel specifically right-handed, there's a big improvement. Like I haven't arm wrestled right-handed in probably 5 years, and I'm just getting back to it again. And it's all due to the stem cell. Like I wouldn't even be able to if I hadn't had this stem cell treatment.
Mike, how old are you?
58. I'll be 59 in October.
Okay. Devin, now on to you. I know you've been getting the stem cell for a while. I know you've been talking about it on your channel a lot. How long ago did you start this therapy?
I am a total crack junk. I should start off. Hi, my name's Devon Larratt, and I am a stem cell addict. Yeah, yeah, I am a
it's
total.
True.
Some people respond better than others, and obviously you're responding the best.
Man, I am a total. Well, I've had the most too. I am on my 4th treatment. So
okay.
I had my first treatment. So after I got my tear with Levan, I've been wanting to get this done for over a decade. And I just, financial reasons, whatever. So finally I just bit the bullet, and I went down to Mexico and got it done. And then afterwards, I could not help but believe that months had to be of a result of the stem cells. Like I put my body through absolute hell, and I survived, and I don't think I would have any other point in my life. I think that the stem cells revitalized me, and everything that I saw, like when I went to this clinic and I just really started to learn more about them. I met all these people I was like, okay, this stuff is insane. And then after that, I got hooked up with VitaCell, and I went and saw them, and they did my bicep, my thumb, and my wrist. And yeah, and that was right before I pulled Prudnik. And I went from having like a ton of pain in my hand, like my hand was completely arthritic, like pain. 2.5 weeks later, no pain, felt incredible. Had a shot in the back alleyway down in Kentucky. They did my elbow and my wrist, And people talk about, the stem cell procedure taking like, 4 months to even a year to feel the full benefits. But the thing is, like, when people talk about stem cell, that's a very simplistic way of looking at it. What we're talking about right now, because we're all with Vitacell, is actually, it's Wharton's jelly, which is much more of a complex product than just stem cells. So, when you deal with the exosomes and all the healing factors that's in there, like, I notice it right away. Like, I will be so brave to say, like, if I get the injections, the next day I feel better. Like, I feel it right away.
Now, have you ever done any of the intravenous type,
Yeah.
the IV type? Oh, I haven't done any of that. So,
Yeah,
I would love.
I've done IV. I've done it all, John. I've done it all. Yeah, I am an addict, and I'm completely hooked on stem cells, and I'll probably just keep taking them so long as I'm able to.
Right.
Now, Jerry, you are new to this. I know you just started your treatment. I believe you're in only 1 week, or is it possibly your second week?
I just went down and got my second shot yesterday.
And you're going after the shoulder. You're trying to heal up the shoulder 100%, correct?
Yeah, shoulder and elbow.
Okay. So what I'm hearing about this Vitacell, it's compared to like sports cars. You got your Nissan Maxima sports car. It's a great car, fast car. But then you got the Bugatti, and that's what the Vitacell is. This is FDA approved. They're really high quality. Where when you go into Mexico, it's still helping. But it's like getting the Maxima, where this Vitacell
I better correct you so they don't. I don't think it's FDA approved yet. I think stem cell is still kind of a research thing. So
I thought they to do it in the United States, you had to be approved by the FDA.
Well, I
can't
think like when you talk about the stem cell procedure, there's a lot of different things that are going on. Like, some, and you, like, we're lumping stem cell in with all these procedures, and I believe in my limited level of education that there are differences. A lot of places you'll go is they will take from your own body, so they'll like extract stem cells from your fat or whatever, and they'll put them back into you, which in one hand is nice, but in another hand, like, your own stem cells, especially for the guys on this panel, they're probably not that good anymore. And the number is going to be low. You can also, like, go down south where they're taking the stem cells and they're propagating them, they're culturing them, and the thing is, when you clone them over and over, like, they might not be as strong either. But if you go in the States, you're dealing with Wharton's jelly, which is really, that's the best product it's seemingly that you can get. It's right from the people always put in the comments, oh, is this from aborted babies or whatever? But no, it's from the umbilical cord. And when it comes to healing agents, it seems like Wharton's jelly is the best thing that we've found so far.
Now, I know that it's very expensive and all, so it's hard for the average Joe to be able to afford this. But is this something that you guys consider that for the average Joe, it's worth putting all that money into this if they got a serious injury? And especially in the arm wrestling world, we know you deal with a lot of serious injuries and all, but do you consider this something worth the money?
It's by far the best healing agent. It's by far the best healing.
Yeah, with the way insurance is, I wish I had this available, years ago, or got talked into it enough where I wouldn't have got the surgery. So, yeah, I mean, if you're up against hundreds of thousands of dollars for some of these procedures, yeah, for sure, it definitely makes sense then, even with the little bit of an expense that it is now.
What about you, Devin? Do you consider this something worth the average Joe if he's got a serious injury that's been nagging for many years?
Well,
is this something to get healed on?
I paid for it. Like, I mean, so for me, it's a yes. Like, it is expensive, but if you're someone who values your health, then yeah, I mean, you'll probably pay for it. it would be great, like you said, John, if they pay for it. Like we're trying up here to get veterans coverage on it. So like if guys get wounded or whatever, they'll have the option to go with stem cell therapy. That's one of our big goals. But it isn't cheap. But hey, some people like to buy cars, some people like to go on vacations, some people like for their elbows to feel healthy and
Feel
happy.
good, right?
Okay. Now, is this something you guys could continue to do, or are you going to stop at a certain point? Like, how does this go? Does this go on for, what's the timeline on this? Is it, or does it go to each injury?
For me, I just know that I'm going to continue smashing my body into walls. I am I've got my body is still going to be a smash up derby car. So, and I don't just view it, me personally, I don't just view stem cells or Wharton's jelly as a healing agent specifically to work on injuries. I see it as honestly a performance enhancer to a certain degree. Like we're all in the constant state of breaking down and healing. And whenever you can maximize your healing, that's enhancing your performance. So to me, the more stem cells you can get into you, the stronger and fitter you're going to be.
Yeah, for sure. If it becomes a fountain of youth, I'll be ready to sign up right back up again. If 8 months from now I start to realize that the inflammation, the arthritis, the achiness, the having to struggle just to get out of bed is back, yeah, I'll be back in line.
What about you, Mike? Are you going to continue with this?
Absolutely, as long as I can. I find it it's great, as Devin just said, like the healing properties and your recovery and your healing and everything. I think it's unmatched anywhere. And a few other things just to talk to the guys and I mean the things they were saying, like if you need a kidney, you might go on a list and wait for, it could be months or years. These guys are making kidneys for you. They can use a kidney from anybody and make it work for you, which is just insane to me. Like to sit and talk to them and hear what they're doing and the research and advancements and stuff. Yeah, I find it just incredible. So yeah, I really do.
What about you, Jerry? Are you in for the long-term run with this therapy?
I mean, it's got to be a no-brainer, right? If it makes you feel that much better and it's curing stuff that hurts you and ails you, then you'd be a fool not to.
Yeah, after hearing all you guys, I had the both surgeries for the bicep tendon, and I get a lot of inflammation and tendonitis on my right arm. So after hearing this, I think I might go and try this out because I definitely want to get this healed up. It never seems to go away. Anytime I get into some real hard training, and then it affects me the rest of the week on anything I do, any lifts or anything. I could only go like 50, 60%. So if I could get this healed up, that is definitely something I would look into. And now hearing from you guys, it seems like it's a pretty easy process. Like, how long does this take? How does one treatment, how long does it go?
10 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, 5-10 minutes.
And then the pain from 1 to 10, 10 being the most, where does it lie on there?
Zero.
Zero
for Devin.
The worst part about it is they try to dull the pain for me and they put some like dry ice and I end up getting a little bit too much dry ice and it burned me. All right, just stick me with it, Dan. I don't need any dry ice.
They injected the back of my shoulder and it was 0. My wrist was probably 6. My wrist was probably 6 out of 10. The back of my shoulder was probably 0.
Yeah, I imagine in the joint probably be a little tougher.
But it was the whole thing. I mean, other than talking and bullshitting, and chatting and whatnot, I mean, the actual procedure was probably realistically 5 to 10 minutes.
What were you saying, Jerry?
I said the only pain was watching it. I'm not a big needle, but after it was once it's in there, you don't even feel it. Like there's nothing. I mean, I think a mosquito bite hurts worse. I got a cortisone shot and that was fucking horrendous. this thing was nothing compared to that.
I'm hearing great things about this. So, guys, if you got any nagging injuries or anything, this is something you might want to research. I've been doing my own research on YouTube and just listening to Devin's channel, and Larry Wheels is another one that received these treatments. Definitely got my interest, and now hearing from these guys, I think it's definitely something I'm going to follow up on and give it a shot.
Hey,
So-
John. So I'm sorry, Paul.
Yep.
John, how good is Larry right now?
Good.
It's
Very
it's-
good. Like knocking on the door of like discussing top 10 in America.
That's what
He's good.
thought.
He crushed Dustin.
Yeah.
Wow,
Right
John,
handed-
so you're saying Larry is right there? He could be possibly the gatekeeper of the top 10 right
Larry
now?
Larry is much better than anybody realizes. He would have he would be a contender for any kind of top level guy, super match wise. Yeah, he's a real deal. He's not. We didn't
Right hand or left hand?
right-handed. He's good left-handed too. I mean, he's actually probably because most good arm wrestlers aren't really that great. Well, the old folks aren't as great left as they are right, but yeah, he's equal. He's symmetrical. He's both good left and right.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we saw the practice with him and Derek. Like, do you think he can beat Derek?
Sure looked like it.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
John, how do you think Austin Yeager's versus Larry Wheels super match would go right now?
So let me rewind. I didn't see Derek pull Larry out of the straps. Was Larry able to control him and beat him out of the straps?
You know what? I'd have to watch it again. I just remember after watching it, and I talked to Derek, and Derek's saying, he's training all the time and everything. But I mean, that practice, it looked to me like Larry was the man.
Larry was doing it right. So we don't know the exact condition. I'll tell you this: Larry, to me personally, felt way stronger, just like Brandon Allen does. I mean, in the straps, he's able to pull a lot harder, and he protects his hand very well once he's locked down in the straps. Where without the straps, I could kind of a little bit cup him and pretty much, really take him out of his, his strengths. But in the straps, yeah. Who do you want to set up against?
I find new arm wrestlers today, though. The new guys today, what used to be a 10-year window is probably a 4-year window today with the knowledge that's available. And I mean, you've got Larry Wheels, one of the strongest guys on the planet, and trains like nonstop.
Yeah.
And with the information available, and how long he's been arm wrestling now. I mean, I know he's kind of brand new, but he's probably been pulling 3 or 4 years.
3 or 4 years.
I think he's about.
And I mean, he's one of the strongest guys on the friggin' planet. So,
Right.
I'm sure he's definitely, he's making big gains.
Yeah, and
I got him at 5 years right now in, because I'm in 3 years, and I know when I got in, he was about 2 years then. He was just getting going, and what
So
I'm
you
finding
take a
is.
guy. Oh, I'm
Sorry,
sorry,
Mike.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mike.
I was just going to say, so you take a guy like Larry Wheels with the information available, today, and the training skills and his abilities, 5 years in, he'd have a good arm. He'd have a great arm.
Yeah. No, he's gonna progress even that much more, because I truly believe he has the speed factor also, but he's not utilizing that. He's very still unsure of himself. He hasn't really developed that thing where he can really go bang, but I think his nervous system is that he's that type of guy, but he's still very calculated and careful and slow with his movements. So once he gets that confidence, he's going to be a lot to handle.
What's his weight at these days? Anybody know?
I think he's down to 250 now, 260, I think. I don't think he's super heavy. I know he was, I think he was quite a bit heavier. And that's another thing. I mean, his endurance is crazy. I mean, I think I pulled him after he had pulled 5 or 6 guys in this one. I would have thought he would have been wore out, but he was just, still going strong.
So I want to hear from each one of you guys, who's somebody you'd like to see him in a super match next. Let's start off with Jerry.
See who? Larry?
Larry Wheels. Who would you like to see him pull in, let's say North America? Let's keep it easy.
Maybe put him up with Corey.
Okay.
Ooh, that's
Come
really
on.
high up there.
Come on.
Not yet with
Come
Corey.
on.
No?
I'd like to see him pull RBJ.
I think Corey's strong, but he's not quick.
Yeah, he's too strong though. I think. Yeah, they would have to.
John, you said RVJ would be your pick.
Yeah, somebody top level light heavyweight. Larry would surprise.
Mike, who would you like to see Larry pull?
I got to be honest. I'm not really even sure. I don't think I have an answer for you. You know, I mean, he's at that level where he's, you know, high end. I'm not sure. You know, I do. Corey's he's a tank. I'm just not sure.
Yeah, I think Corey might be a little too much for him right now. But
Wait. How about me? How about a good match with me?
There you go. Devin, what's your thoughts on that?
After a 2-week binge of casual drinking and a 3-week snowmobile trip, John Brzenk.
Oh,
Yeah, after you just, you know, let yourself go just a little bit. Just let
no,
yourself.
I got too much information now. If you would have had a super match with me against him without me experiencing him and feeling how good he is, he would have possibly beat me. But I would be definitely very prepared for what's coming. So.
For maybe actually a pretty good one, because it seems as though there's been a little bit of jawing, a little bit, is Dallas Langston.
He would beat Dallas for sure.
Now, but I don't think Dallas thinks that.
No, of course not. Dallas thinks that he could beat you and me. So,
well, that's the thing. If it's a guy like, so Dallas, I think that Larry would beat Dallas. But and the thing is, Larry gets all these hard matches all the time. Not that Dallas is an easy match, but Dallas, I think, thinks he can beat Larry.
Okay.
Based off of my, you know, in-depth following of YouTube comments, you know.
I got to ask you, what about your boy Leonidas?
Well, that guy's in Germany, and yes, that's a great match, left-handed. Yep. Great match. Now, Leonidas is freaking strong. Like, he's the same kind of boat as Larry. So Leonidas is 24 years old.
Wow.
He's a baby. Like, but he's good. He's really
tell
good.
Me, what's his strong arm? Is it the left or right?
Left. Yeah.
Okay. Now, one question though. What happened to him when there was $5,000 put up? You guys kind of disappeared on it.
No, I don't think he's disappeared, man. I don't think he has. I think you'll probably see that. The thing is, Leonidas got a lot of stuff going on. I will not be surprised that guy, I think he's integrating arm wrestling into what he does. Okay. He does a lot of stuff. He'll integrate arm wrestling in, and we'll see him. We will.
But I got to admit, brother, I was expecting like the next day a phone call we're on our way to RBJ's house right now. Let's meet over there.
That almost happened, but I will be actually surprised if we do not see him. Leonidas will be back. I think he's got himself a hit list, and he's a good athlete. He's a smart guy. He's not impatient. He's going to do the work. He's going to come back. He did very well up here. Like, he pulled a tournament up here in Canada, and in no way did he take it seriously. And he just showed up and he beat a lot of our best guys. Like, he's good. He's very good.
How long has he been pulling for now?
Like nothing. Like maybe a 2 or 3 year complete casual. Like complete casual, like a couple years in. But I think like I showed him everything that I do, and we talked about how much you need to do and how he can do way less and still make gains. And I think he's just gonna fit in, like just doing like the base movements and hit a practice every once in a while. And I think we'll see him emerge similar to what Larry's done. Yeah.
What's his weight at these days?
I think he's like 250 to 265. He's like super lean. He's all muscle. The dude.
I've seen it. He's 6-pack ripped.
Oh yeah. Stupid strong. Like, I did a gym workout with him, and it's just insane. Like, he's completely crazy, like in all motions. He's very, very strong, and in arm wrestling stuff too. Like, his arm wrestling motions are already very strong. Like, he will be a force. Yeah, he'll be a guy who comes around.
Okay, this is something I really want to know about. Want to talk a couple East versus West matches coming up. And the one that I really want to get into was RVJ making his comeback, and he's going to be pulling Zurab. So I wanted to start off with John, since you have you're familiar with Zurab's power and all. What is your thoughts on that?
I think Rob has a legit chance to beat him. He just has to top roll correctly, not complete top roll. If he goes too much top roll, Zurab could possibly dead wrist press him. He's got the strength to be able to do that. But if he watches the films of, the match of how Chance Shaw beat him, if he somewhat top rolls but kind of blocks instead of really turns the hand out, I suspect Rob should win that match. But if it goes inside, Zurab is unlike Sasha, who can control somebody inside. His wrist is just going to go, but he's still dangerous. I mean, he can still obviously press really hard in the strap, dead wrist.
I'm going to ask the same question to Jerry, because I know you train with RVJ. What's your thoughts on RVJ versus Zurab?
If Rob takes it for real, then I'm going to go with Rob, right? I want to see him put in the work, because a finely tuned Rob is a great arm wrestler. But I keep trying to get him to come down to practice with me.
Oh, he hasn't showed up yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. Mike, what's your thoughts on that match between RVJ and Zurab?
I think it's basically, I got to go with what John said. I think if Rob can keep a good hand control and not commit too much one way or the other, but just good control, not let him get into the press and all that, but just keep good hand control, Rob has a great shot at it. But it's, we always speculate with these matches on, who's going to win, if this guy does that, if that guy does this. So it's really hard to tell. But I do, if Rob can maintain hand control, I think he's got a great shot.
It could look very much like Zurab's match with Ron Bath, and that's what I would suspect. I mean, it could be.
That was a war, that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Devin, what's your thoughts on that? And I see you're eating. What's your weight at these days, bro? You're getting ready for your big match and all.
Yeah, I'm hitting 270 mark now, so I'm on my way. But I think the big questions. I think that Zurab is the favorite based off of his consistency, his conditioning, and just Rob kind of like, it's been a while. It's been a while for Rob. And he's jumping right back in the deep end where we know he belongs. But I think that Rob definitely has the talent, but this level that the East versus West is at right now, I mean, you don't just get there like overnight. I not to say that Rob's new or anything like that, but he's been a little bit inactive. So it'll come down to what he's been doing while nobody's been watching. And there's a lot of questions there.
Okay, how about this one? Paul Lynn versus Sasha. Devin, what's your thoughts on that one?
Man, I'll tell you, Paul Lynn, this guy, in my mind, being like an up and comer to just winning and winning. He is hot as hot can be. And every match he's getting, I'm like, damn, if he wins this, it'll level up. And he has been ever since he pulled you, John. Like, he did great against you. And then ever since then, he has been kicking ass. And I thought he was in serious trouble with Rustem. And then,
just required a little confidence, and he busted him.
I'll tell you, Sasha will be his biggest test.
Yeah.
So, and I'll say it again. He's got to be the underdog. He has to be. Like, Sasha Andreev is like, he's in, like,
beast.
But the thing is Paul Lynn, the guy who has been like he's the champ. He's the champ. So to me, there's only a couple names left. There's Sasha, and then there's Zoloev, and then it's like, who left do we have to throw at this guy?
John, what's your thoughts on that? Because you pulled Paul Lynn recently.
Well, it's almost been a year, I think, and he took me right to my limit. Even though I somewhat felt comfortable, there was a few times where he was putting enough pressure that it was requiring serious strain in the old tendons to stop it. And I even told him, I think it was the third match, that that top of my tendon was actually burning, and it kind of went black and blue weeks later. So, I mean, he's super explosive. I mean, he protects his hand well with that high top roll and can come crashing down on a hook. And I mean, he's not built to be a super great top roller, but he can also do that posting style, outside hit with his knuckles high. So, super impressive. If he keeps getting better, I didn't think, he would, pull it out with Rustum, but hard to bet against him.
Hey, Jerry, what's your thoughts on that match?
I'm going to be rooting for Paul. I think it's going to be a challenge. I think it was unfortunate to see, Rustum get hurt in that match, but before he got hurt, it looked like it was a super difficult match for Paul. And so I'd like to see what he's got to go against Sasha, but I'll be there rooting for him.
Mike, your thoughts on this match?
Oh, you know what? Again, I got to go with Paul. I think it's more my heart, hoping and being on his side. But he has been looking incredible the last year or so. But I do think this will be the biggest match he's had to face for sure.
That 4-0.
Yeah.
Now, this match really excites me. This is Gennady versus Devin.
Yeah.
Jerry, I want to start off with you since you just went against Gennady not too long ago. What's your thoughts?
I think Devin better train. Better be doing more than the thumb exercising.
Just thumb.
But Jerry, how does it end up?
I think this match goes down to the fifth match. I think it goes 2-2, and there's no question Devin has amazing endurance, and I think that it's going to come down to the last match. Obviously I'm going to be rooting for Devin, right? But I think that it's going to be a challenge, and I think Gennady's obviously taking it for real. He looked like he's getting bigger, doesn't he? Look like he's getting bigger. He looked bigger in the last one, and but Devin has more experience, and Devin has more knowledge, and there's no question when it comes to smarts. I put Devin right up there with John as for a technical arm wrestler. So I think he's got the skill set to do it. I think where he's going to run into some difficulties at the level of strength Gennady's going to be. And Gennady can transition. He's multi-talented. But, I'll obviously be rooting for Devin, because he's from North America, even though he bothers me. He's a jalopy, right? But and I love that shirt. Holy shit. Someone actually, that thing was fucking cool as shit. Right? I was amazed. But I do think it's going to come down to match 5.
Okay. John, what is your thoughts on that? Who do you think is going to win that?
Oh, Gennady's going to kill him. Devin, he better figure out a good excuse not even to get on an airplane. No. All kidding aside, Gennady's got to be more explosive than Prudnik, and I don't think he is. The only chance to beat Devin is to bust him right after the G. And Gennady doesn't have that type of control to be able to really unload. So I think he's got the strength to hang in there, to put up a good fight, but eventually he'll wear out, he'll subside. So it'll be a good workout for Devin.
Okay, Mike, what's your thoughts?
I'm a little biased. It's probably not fair, but I see it being honestly a good training day for Dev. Devin's arm don't move today, and long levers high. Devin's going to be able to set up, bang inside, really high, really tight, deep. It is going to be the longest distance Gennady's ever felt to the pin pad. He has to go through Devin's arm. It's going to feel like about a 5-mile run for him to get Devin's arm to the pin pad. No chance. No chance. All day long for me with Dev.
Devin, how's the thumb training going? Is that thumb ready for Gennady?
Just all I'm thinking is thumb growth at all costs. At all costs. Everything
Hit
in
it
my
with the
life.
hammer. It'll swell up.
Everything must go. Everything gets traded for thumb thick.
Thumb strength.
John, next time I see you, we're gonna measure off.
Compare.
I'm not there yet, but I'm closing the gap. Yeah.
Yeah, John's thumb is next level.
How does it feel to shoot the stem cells in the old thumb muscle? That's
I
got
did it. I got them right in my thumb. I'm like, they're like, where do you want them? And I'm like, can I get it right in my thumb? And they're like, yes, you can. And I'm like,
I just remember that first day I met John, and it was me, Travis, and John. And Travis and John was in the middle of eating. He's like, "Come over here, I got to show you something." John, put up your thumb, and I'm like, "Bro, leave him alone. He's got his thumb." I'm like, "What are you showing me his thumb for?" He goes, "You don't understand. Look at this." And Travis, Travis is a big boy. He's like 6'4", whatever. Put out his thumb, and John's thumb was just like double the size. It is crazy, man. Like next level.
Yeah, when you don't have it, when it's hurting and sore, you realize how much it's needed for effective arm wrestling. I mean, I don't know. You've got to have known it a long time now, Devin, and I'm just really kind of keying on it. But that twisting motion and that thumb pressure is so important with that pronation. If that's bigger and stronger, that move becomes so much more effective.
John, I remember when we had our conversation and all. You were talking about that you used to do bowling, and you did a lot of bowling. You think that had anything to do with way your thumb is or the strength level?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I lived in a bowling alley, but I was arm wrestling at the time while I was living in the bowling alley. So I was doing as much arm wrestling as I was bowling. But yeah, no, bowling definitely probably puts a little bit of strain on the thumb.
Okay. Now, the next match that I want to talk about, it's not going down in May, but it's going to be going down in July. And that is Hermes Gasparini going against Big Daddy Jerry Cadorette. So let's start off with Devin. What is your thoughts on that?
It's a very interesting match. Very, very interesting. Now, if you had asked the same question about a year ago, you would have been like, oh, this style-wise is perfect for Jerry. You got your classic flop versus classic top roll matchup. And now, I mean, we just saw Hermes flop wrist pressing Levan. So now I'm like, that whole style thing is maybe not quite as apparent as it was. Listen, to me, Hermes he's the number 2. I really think he's probably the number 2 on the planet right now. It's a huge, I gotta say, Jerry, I think you're the underdog, but I still do believe that he opens top roll. And there's a great opportunity for you to get that wedge in there. And I think that it can become a very interesting match. I think that, yeah, man, Jerry, I hope you kill him, because I fucking hate that that's a guy I want you.
Mike, what's your thoughts, bro?
Well, after seeing the match we just seen, it really changes, it enlightens us on Hermes. But I got to go with Jerry. I mean, Jerry's power. I think Jerry, you're bigger and stronger than you've ever been, I think. And I'm going to be rooting for you. And but a match, my God, the difference between Hermes and the one you just had,
Georgie.
Oh my God. Yeah. He's very explosive. He's fast. He's he's got so many angles. He can go anywhere. And so, I mean, I think he's such a skilled arm wrestler, but I think Jerry's just got too much horsepower. Personally, that's what we're hoping for, Jerry. So just win. But that's my opinion. Guys, I hate to do it. I love talking to you. I got to sign off here. It's been fantastic talking to you all. I got to get rolling.
Thank you for coming on, Mike. It's a pleasure to have you on my channel.
Thank you for having me. It's been a real pleasure to chat with you guys. Talk soon.
Talk to you later, Mike.
Win, Jerry.
We'll see you later, my Mike.
Goodbye.
John, what's your thoughts on Hermes versus Jerry?
Well, I have to kind of agree with Devin. I'm a huge Hermes fan. I mean, I actually was the only one brave enough to pick him, and I really honestly felt like he could possibly beat Levan. So in my mind, he's the second best arm wrestler. And as far as a match with Jerry, I think Jerry would probably have a better chance beating Levan than he's going to have Hermes. I think Hermes is the toughest arm wrestler right now out there besides Levan and Devin, which I would love to see Hermes and Devin pull. I think Hermes is probably the only one possible that could flash pin to get it, to not have it be an endurance thing. Jerry, I mean, I already have huge respect for you, but I mean, if you even stop that dude, that's an accomplishment because he is a beast. Like I said, I believe he's the second best arm wrestler on the planet right now.
Jerry, what's your thoughts?
Possibly third, which we haven't seen from Devin yet, but Devin and Hermes, I say bypass Hermes and go straight to Levan. I think you got good chances against Levan after what we just saw with Hermes and Levan. So if that's a possibility, but tough match.
Jerry, what's your thoughts on after hearing that from these guys?
I heard that bypass Hermes and go to Levan before from Devin. But ideally, I'm excited for the match. I want it to happen. I think my last match was against Georgie. I wasn't strong at all. I didn't lift at all, right? But I think now the big mistake was Hermes gave me another 2 months to get big, right? So I'm going to get really strong, big, and because the goal is I want to get bigger and stronger to go against Levan. So I'm looking at the Hermes match as it's a real deal. It's going to be a challenge. But I think that watching Hermes go against Dave Chafee, and Dave almost pressed him, almost tricep pressed him down and had him down. And Dave's press isn't like my press. So I think that I'm going to be able to get into my position. Hermes, quick, but he's not quicker than me. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I've got all the faith in myself. So I think that I expect it to be a war. And the longer the war, I think the needle goes more towards my way because I've been in those long matches and I'm okay with them.
Now,
yeah,
this
he's
goes in.
definitely going to need to figure out how to beat you quickly. I mean, he's not going to be able to win the long distance thing with you.
Now, this brings me into the next question because you guys brought up Levan. Who do you think is the biggest threat in this world for Levan to take his title from him? We'll start off with you, John.
Brian Shaw, maybe? I mean, I don't know. I mean, the two top contenders have tried and failed. I don't know. Is it going to be someone that has the frame size to really, not have that be such a factor? We need a super heavyweight, Vitali possibly if he gains another 100 pounds. Yeah, I mean, it's just a shame Zurab hurt himself, or is it Zurab? Zurab hurt himself because he looked crazy strong in his training with Dennis. And he's been flashing all the big super heavyweights. So, I mean, that might have been a match, but obviously it's not going to happen now.
What do you think with Dennis? Is Dennis's comeback, is he a threat to Levan eventually if he keeps progressing?
Well, of course, if he keeps progressing, but I think he's a long ways away from a Levan match.
Devin, your thoughts on who could possibly be a threat to taking the King title from Levan?
I'm gonna say a name that is not among the names that most people are expecting, and I'm gonna say it'll happen in like 2 or 3 years, and I will say it's Kirill Sarychev.
Okay,
He's the big bodybuilder from Russia.
He had the bench press world record. He's a big Russian guy. He's a fucking monster, and he's been silently like tinkering in arm wrestling for probably the last kind of couple years. You can see he's laying the groundwork, and I like this guy is big enough. He's big enough. He's smart. He's Russian. He's got everything you need. He could do it. He could absolutely do it. Like, yeah, Kirill Sarychev, very, very strong athlete. Yeah.
What about Zauer?
Well, it's
That's
just about the bicep. He got the bicep rip there.
He hurt
right?
himself. Yeah.
But when he comes back, you know, it's probably going to be like a year until he gets 100%.
Yeah, but you never know after a guy does that. You never know where they're going to come back to. Like, it's kind of an unknown. Yeah,
Could come back like Todd Hutchins.
Yeah,
twice as strong.
Absolutely.
If you get that attached lower and you get that double anchor in there, you know, it supposedly adds 15% on your arm. That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Jerry, who do you think is the biggest threat right now in the world to Levan?
Me.
And you think it's your style that's going to present a problem for him?
Yeah, I think after watching Hermes with him, I think if I get in that position, I'm going to be better at it than him.
Now, would you keep the same weight you're at, or would you look to gain weight for it? Where would you come in against?
No, I'm gaining weight, and so I'm gonna go heavier. I'm gonna get up to a weight I haven't been. We'll see.
Now, this is the last question for you guys, and I'm going to let you guys go. I want to know, who do you guys consider, you guys can't say yourself, but who do you consider the smartest arm wrestler out there ever? And I want to start off with Devin on this question. Who's got the highest table IQ would you consider of all time?
I don't know. I mean, it'd probably have to be John. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
John, same question for you.
Easy answer. Ingen Terzi.
Okay.
You fucker. All right. So that's right. That leaves me last. Thanks for putting me last. You put those two fucking first.
Well, that's because we kind of did this question the last time on your channel, so I knew where you were going to go with this.
But I'd say you have two of them on right now. John and Devin are the two of the smartest, and then Engen would be third. And so those three right there, by far, there's such a great distance between their IQ and the next person's IQ. There's no one in that class that can come close to the three of them.
What about Dave?
Engen's got the most knowledge stored in that database on top of his shoulders. He's an incredible historian, knows every single match that's ever existed. It's just mind-boggling to comprehend that somebody has that type of memory to recall all of arm wrestling's past.
It's crazy.
Engen's memory of events is second to none.
Yeah.
Oh, he amazed me, right? He's telling me about matches I did in like John, when you and I pulled at the Harley pull, and that was like whatever it was 9,000 years ago, but
it knows every detail.
Yeah. I'm like, what? Well, was that how it went? I says, I have no clue. I said, I'd have to fucking Google it, but he just knows it.
So could we give him the name, the Encyclopedia of Arm Wrestling?
Oh yeah, for recalling the matches and knowing the history of it, definitely. But you're saying table IQ. Table IQ is different than someone that knows what happened in previous matches. That's just like someone that's smart that can remember everything. But being able to apply and know how to beat someone and what to do, like I said, there's no hands down, John, Devin, and Engen.
Okay.
Travis is quite smart too.
He's
Okay.
smart, but not like in your class. The three of you are in a class all by yourself.
Okay. Now, John, do you think if Engen was a little heavier in weight, maybe if he was in that heavyweight, the super heavyweight category, would he be up there right next to you as far as level and Devin? Like where would you guys have each
Well,
other?
of course. I mean, Ingen to me is like a miniature Dennis Saplinkoff. I mean, if Ingen was twice his size, he's kind of got that same build: short forearm, thick, big fingers, but not long, lanky, like controlling top roll type guy. But yeah, I mean, if he was Dennis's size, I could definitely see Ingen being just as effective as Dennis.
Devin, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Engen is a super bad dude. I mean, yeah, anytime the question is brought up on where you put Engen, it's right at the top. Like John Engen, I mean, like in terms of what he's accomplished is tremendous. His recall is unbelievable, and the real thing is what he's doing right now. Like what Engen is doing for the sport right now is it's the best thing that's ever happened, in my opinion, to the sport. The way he's bringing together the entire planet, the promotion, the rule set. Like in my mind, anybody who asks, what do I need to do to make the sport better? Just get in line with Engen. Just follow Engen.
He definitely has the mental capacity to be able to juggle 1,000 things at once too. I mean, that's
He lives arm wrestling. It's full time. It never stops, never turns off. Jerry, your thoughts too? Same thing.
I gotta go, guys.
Okay,
Yeah.
John, thank you for coming on, brother.
All right, take care, guys.
Take care.
Yeah.
Jerry, what's your thoughts on Engen as if he was a super heavyweight, would he be one of the best ever? Well, I mean, he already is one of the best ever, but
Obviously, if he was whatever class Engen was in, weight-wise, if his weight matched that class, he's going to be dominant.
okay. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming on today. I just want to do one quick shout out, and that's we got this Wednesday on my channel. We're going to be having the Arm Wrestling Buzz. It's going to be a weekly show. We're doing it Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific time. We got 4 of us on there. It's going to be me, Josh from Grip and Rip, Pradeep from Arm Wrestling News, and Tom Stubberline. This is going to be a great show. We're going to talk all about all the hot topics in arm wrestling. We're going to bring on a lot of special guests. And then another thing, on April 1st, I'm teamed up with Cobra Rhodes, and we are throwing the Cobra Classic over in Fort Wayne, Indiana. We got some great super matches set up. We got Bo James Olsen going to be pulling Quinlan Mendez, right hand, best of 5. We got Matt Craig pulling Quinlan Mendez, left hand. We got some more big announcements coming this next week coming up, guys. So if you're in that area, make sure to check it out. If you can't make it in person, it'll be free on my YouTube channel. We'll be doing a great show for everybody. And like I said, there is a lot of announcements coming. I got big plans for this event. So definitely check it out, everybody.
Devin, you better
I'm on it. I'm on it. You too, buddy. All right, take it easy.
All right, guys. Have a great day. Thank you for coming on.
take care.